I am not angry at the Aguda convention in Bournemouth for Ichemaya Zimmerman to and Joe Levenstein to slap each other on the back and other Haskonim. If they use their own money, it doesn't worry me. But so far they've used nearly £500,000 of our Aguda money, which is raised through soft, which is supposed to be for chinuch, and spent it on making a weekend of Lag BaOmer holiday weekend in Bournemouth, which they bring people from all over the world. Like this year, they brought this Rabbi Shmuel Dishon from the USA. They brought Rabbi Horowitz, also from the USA. And Rabbi Laserzon keeps flying backwards and forwards, who's supposed to be a director of Chinuch Hatzmui and supposed to be oisig and doing things in Chinuch Hatzmui. What does he fly backwards and forwards? Every week you see him somewhere else in the paper mentioned he's been there, he goes there. Does he always go to raise only funds? Or what does he do? Even Rabbi Zilberman of Ger, does he need to come every year and spend time in a hotel? I don't understand all this sometimes. But definitely Shemaya Zimmerman has spent funds from Agudas Yisrael, funds which are there, which were established to raise and help education in London, in England, for Yiddish children. He uses these funds for a convention weekend, enjoyment of slap-papping each other on the back and saying we are a good man and giving honors and everything else. Why do these people deserve honors? They don't really deserve honors. I don't mind if Ishmael Zimmerman wants to give honors to all these people from his own money, or Joe Levenstein from their money. They can do what they like. But from Kohl's money, where Kohl needs the money for education, Moised, like side by side, needs badly the money to build a building, to build a school, which is necessary, which they've proven and shown that they can bring up children who weren't thought to be worthwhile, who weren't thought that you could bring any education to them. And there's been shown by Mrs. Ricky Rumpler that you can bring a life, you can bring Yiddishkeit, you can bring education to these children. Aren't they more important than lasers on traveling around the world? And anyway, all these, what they need to do, they can sit in the office today and communicate through interlink and a video telephone, and they can see each other. They don't need to travel backwards and forwards and forwards and backwards, spending Kohl's money and wasting Kohl's money. If you want to waste money, please, Agudas Yisrael, please, Mr. Zimmerman, please, Mr. Lederzon, please, Mr. Zilberman, waste your own money. They tell me I've made a mistake. He's called Rabbi Zilberberg. It doesn't make a difference whether it's called Zilberman, Zilberberg. You get the gist of what I'm trying to say is the point. That's what matters. Wasting of money, which is done by these Askonim. If they want to waste money, waste their own money. The same way as I look in the papers and I see Chai Rottel. There's all this business of giving money and we'll pray for you in Meron. Leave me alone with all this rubbish, pray for you, Chai Rottel and all this thing. Yes, it says a bit of Tamnugim, something gave, it was everything's true. You think I don't believe in Meron, Rabbi Shimon, and people have been helped there? Of course I believe everything in people in Meron. There's a very famous story where there was a businessman who always used to come and tell all his business to Reb Shimon. Once he comes up to Reb Shimon's cave and he wants to tell him his business, which he's got to do, and there's a lady there, and she's talking and she's telling Reb Shimon she hasn't got to make Shabbos, she needs £30 to make Shabbos. So he waits and he waits, he still doesn't get finished, so he goes up to the lady, he gives her £30, he says, go, here's your £30, make Shabbos, and now I can talk to Reb Shimon, you can go away. We can think, oh, it's a funny joke, but that's not the truth. The truth of the matter is, that is belief. That's Zemunah. That is believing in the Rebbe Shalom. That is believing in Ashguche Prutis. That this person was helped through this other person believing that all his business he had to talk to Reb Shimon. I heard once a very good word in Start the Day from Reb Ehrentreu in Golders Green, Rab Ehrentreu. And he was talking of Start the Day in Golders Green. And he said, it's from Rabbi Elia Lapien, he said, it says in the Pasuk, Korav Hashem l'chol korav, l'chol hashikru be'emes. God is near to everyone. And then it says, l'chol hashikru be'emes. So it's really a contradiction. Either he is near to everybody, or he is near to anybody who calls him truthfully. What's his explanation? So Rabbi Elia Lapien said, that's the answer. Rabbi Elia Lapien said, what is the language of God? Korav Hashem l'chol korav, l'chol hashikru be'emes. Everybody who talks to him truthfully, that the person stands and says, please, God, help me. God, I need your help. And he really knows he's praying to God. That's what the help is. That's the Yeshua. That comes to Yeshua. A person staying here in London doesn't have to travel to Meron. He's staying here in London and he asks the help of Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. Reb Shimon Bar Yochai is wanting to help him. Reb Shimon Bar Yochai doesn't have gevulim, doesn't have borders. Just in Meron he can help you, and everywhere else he can't help you. He can help you here in London. It's no need to waste money to travel to Eretz Yisrael. There's no need to give Chayrotla and then you can be helped. You can, by calling and asking God to help you, God will help you. And we don't need all this money wasting in Klal Yisrael. To finish off, I want to tell all these Askunim and all these Bnei Torah and all these Rosh Yeshivas who go to these conferences and talk. I want to tell you what the Beis Yisrael said to me. He said to me once, the Gaby, he said, Gabriel Lezer, the Yitzhahara will let you do everything, all askunas, all mitzvahs, everything you want, except one thing. He won't let you learn Torah, because learning Torah is the biggest thing by Klal Yisrael. This I want to tell to all the askunim. This is time wasting. There is not, Tafayomi is not Torah learning. This is time wasting for Rosh Yeshivas and Rabbunim and askunim. If I ask us to go to help somebody, has to go somewhere away, there's a different story. But one thing you have to remember, there's nothing greater by Klal Yisrael than learning Torah. Be oisig in Torah all the time. That's the biggest thing a Rosh Yeshiva, that's the biggest lesson a Rosh Yeshiva can give to his Talmidim. That's the biggest lesson an Asken can give to all his, to anybody. Askonis doesn't take away that I'm an Asken, that patters me from learning Torah, because you've got to be a person that's got to be 4 or 5 hours a day occupied in Torah learning, and especially a Rosh Yeshiva, and of course a Asken. So don't forget, Torah learning is the Yesod from Klal Yisrael and from teaching a mitzvahs, not by coming together in a conference. This will save us. Only Torah learning will save us.